Well, now joined by Rahma Zein in Cairo. She is an Egyptian podcaster, journalist and activist advocating for humanitarian rights. Thank you very much for joining us on the News Hour. First of all, you listened to that report. What do you make of the US reaction to this conflict?
Firstly, we have two very scary things that are happening. What's happening on ground in Palestine and what we're seeing in the rest of the world. We're seeing the US had pushed for this to be called a war. When it was called a war, then they went off and said that these are just casualties of war, instead of condemning it, instead of calling for a ceasefire. So they controlled the rhetoric from the start, which has led up to what we're seeing today. What also is extremely scary is the terrorizing of what we're seeing is Israel is and the Zionist movement is a global terrorist because journalists in the West are not able to speak up. Lawyers are not able to speak up because they get sacked. You have university professors that are not able to speak about what's happening in Palestine for fear that they're going to get sacked. I get emails from media outlets, from Western media outlets, where they're young employees there are telling me that they're unable to showcase what exactly is happening on ground. So the terrorize, you have the United Nations that has proved that Israel has made a mockery out of. Israel has made a mockery out of the United Nations. So the silence that people are witnessing outside of what's happening in Palestine equates the atrocities and the genocide that is also happening on ground. So you have these two parallel disasters that are unfolding. One, that the world is unable to stand up properly to Israel, and the other one is the genocide that's happening on ground. We have over 10,000 Palestinians that have been killed, many more probably, and those that are stuck in the rubble, it will take days for them to die. Fuel has run out, water is running out, food is running out. This is torture. And this is looked at as a reaction to 7th of October. This isn't. And even the chief of the United Nations has stated that. This is the result of what Israel told us that they were going to do, what the Zionist movement told us that they were going to do. They
So
stated clearly.
let's talk about social media, which is something you're very active in. We saw the Ukraine conflict unfold on social media. How do you feel this conflict is being presented on social media? What do you see?
The double standards is so apparent. It's almost farcical. You saw the video that went viral. I think it was in 2017 of Ahad al-Tamimi, the young Palestinian activist, when she stood up to an IDF soldier because they with total impunity they arrest Palestinian children. So she was trying to voice her outrage that her brother, who was 15 at the time, got taken. So Ahad al-Tamimi's video went viral at the time because it was assumed that she was Ukrainian. Once it was noted that she was a young Palestinian girl, Western media fell silent. Now, just yesterday night, Ahad al-Tamimi got arrested once again by IDF soldiers. So you see the double standards. You see how the West, and it's scary. And this is actually, it's important that you ask this question because a lot of people had stated if these weren't thousands of Palestinian children, if let's say they were thousands of Canadian, thousands of Ukrainian, thousands of British children, would the world be so silent? Would the world be so scared to speak up? Would the perspectives change? And that's what's scary. The fact that if you were to change the race, perspectives would change.
OK, Rahma Zein, we're going to have to leave it there, but thank you very much for joining us with your insight from Cairo.